when she knows you're in the country of the Winkies, she will find you and make you all her slaves.
Perhaps not, for we mean to destroy her.
Oh, well that's different. I didn't know you meant to destroy her. So naturally, I assumed she would make you all her slaves, like she has everyone else. But beware, the witch is wicked and may not allow you to destroy her. Look, keep to the west, where the sun sets, and you cannot fail to find her.
Now, the wicked witch of the West had but one eye, but it was as powerful as a telescope. So she sat at the door of her castle and watched as Dorothy and her friends illegally entered the witch's country. Understandably angry, she called some of her friends, the Winkies, over and asked them to obtain the immigrants' paperwork.
Slave!
Go to those people. Tear them to pieces.
Are you not going to make them your slaves?
No, no, no. One of them is made of straw. One of them is made of tin. One is just a girl, and the other a lion. None of them are fit for slaves. So you may tear them into little tiny pieces. Go!
Very well. The Winkies were very obedient. But not very brave.
Fools! She'll have to find someone more competent. It'll be the last of the 3 times I may call upon them, but it must be done. Epe, pepe, cafe. Hilo, holo, hilo. Zazi, zuzi, zip!
What is your command?
Go to the strangers in my land and destroy them all. Except for the lion. Bring that beast to me, for I have mine harness him like a horse and make it work.
Your commands shall be obeyed.
The wicked monkeys grabbed the Tin Woodman first and dropped him down a gorge full of sharp rocks. Then they caught the scarecrow, ripped him apart, and scattered his straw across all the land. Thirdly, they caught the lion in their ropes and caged him inside the witch's castle. They approached Dorothy last.
Ha! We dare not harm this little girl, for she is protected by the power of good, and that is greater than the power of evil. All we can do is take her to the Wicked Witch's castle and leave her there.
So they gently kidnapped Dorothy and Toto and dropped them on the witch's doorstep.
We've obeyed your commands as far as we were able. The Tin Man and the Scarecrow are destroyed, and the lion is tied up in your yard. But we dare not harm this little girl, nor the dog she carries in our arms. Your power over our band has ended, and you will never see us again.
Then all the winged monkeys flew into the air and were soon out of sight, leaving Dorothy alone with the wicked witch.
So, see where the mark went to the door. And those shoes. They're very comfortable. And still make her my slave. She does not yet know how to harness her power. Come with me. And see that you mind every single thing that I
She was glad the Wicked Witch had decided not to kill her. The witch, for her part, longed to steal Dorothy's silver shoes, but did not dare harm her because of the mark on her forehead. She was too scared of the dark to sneak into Dorothy's room while she was sleeping, and too scared of water to steal them while Dorothy was bathing. But it was only a matter of time before the witch came up with a wicked and brilliant plan.
Give me back my shoe! I will not, for it is mine now and not yours. You are a wicked creature. You have no right to take my shoe from me. I shall keep it all the same, and someday I shall have the other one too. See what you have done? In a few moments, I shall be all melted. I'm very sorry indeed. Didn't you know water would be the end of me? Well, of course not. How could I? In a few moments, I shall be all melted, and you will have the castle all to yourself. I have been wicked in my day, but I never thought a little girl like you would ever melt me and act my wicked ways.
Dorothy watched, horrified, as the witch slumped down in a brown, melted, shapeless mass. Spread all over the clean boards of the kitchen floor, undoing all her mopping. Dorothy drew another bucket of water and threw it over the mess. She then swept it all out the door. After picking out the silver shoe, which was all that was left of the old woman, she cleaned and dried it with a cloth, then put it on her foot again. Then she ran out to the courtyard to free the lion.
If all your friends, the Tin Man and the Scarecrow were with us, I should be quite happy indeed.
Suppose we could rescue them.
We can try.
And with the help of the Winkies, who first sewed and greased up the Scarecrow, and then rescued and rebuilt the Tin Woodman, they succeeded.
At last, we can go to Emerald City, and I can get my heart.
And I shall get my brains.
And I shall get my courage.
And I shall get home to Kansas. Oh, let us start for Emerald City tomorrow.
Dorothy decided to gather some provisions for their journey from the dead witch's cupboards. There, Dorothy, the witch slayer, found something that was not food, but she decided to take anyway.
This is very pretty. I'll wear this instead of my sunbonnet.
Wait, don't go. I must. I have to go to Emerald City to get my heart from Oz.
But we have no one to rule us.
Please stay under our king.
I cannot stay. But once Oz has given me my heart, I shall return and rule you forever.
The next morning, the group confidently set off towards the Emerald City. They knew, of course, that they must head east, towards the rising sun. However, when the sun rose too high in the sky, they lost their way immediately.
This is astronomical anomaly.
Nevertheless, they continued, quite sure of where they were going, even when the sun was hidden behind clouds.
If we keep walking, I'm sure we shall sometime come to some place.
We are lost. If we don't reach the Emerald City in time, I will never get my brains.
Seems I can scarcely wait to get to Oz and receive my heart. But you must admit this has been a very long journey.
For my part, I haven't the courage to keep tramping forever without getting anywhere at all.
Suppose we call the field mice. They might be able to show us the way.
That's a great idea. Why didn't you do that before?
What can I do for my friends?
We've lost our way. Can you help us find the Emerald City?
Oh, of course. But it's a great deal off. For you had it at your backs the whole time. Why don't you use the charm of the golden cat and call the winged monkeys to you? They'll get you to Oz in no time.
There's a charm? I didn't know there was.
It's written inside it. But if you're going to call them, I must go, for they love to play tricks on me.
Won't they hurt me?
Oh no, of course not. Goodbye.
There is something written here. Let me see. Epe, pepe, kake.
What's that?
Hilo, holo, hello.
Hello?
Zizi, zuzi, zip.
What is your command?
We wish you'd carry us to the Emerald City.
It shall be done.
So the winged monkeys picked up Dorothy and her friends with their long, hairy arms, and together they launched into the sky, soaring majestically through the air.
What makes you have to obey the charm of the golden cat?
It's a long story. But as we have a long journey ahead of us, I'd be happy to tell you it, if you wish.
I'd love to hear it.
Once, long ago, we were free people, jumping from tree to tree, eating nuts and fruit, without having to call anyone master. Until one day, my grandfather angered a beautiful princess, who also happened to be a powerful sorceress. And she cursed us to 3 times in slave of the owner of the golden cat, whosoever they may be. So, when the golden cat fell into the hands of the wicked witch of the west, we were forced to enslave the Winkies and drive Oz himself out of the land of the west. And now, you have the golden cat, and you have the right to 3 times lay your wishes upon us.
At that, they landed with a thump.
We've arrived in Oz. Very well.
That was a good ride. Welcome to the Emerald City. What is it? It's you. Are you back again? Can you not see us? I thought you went to see the Wicked Witch of the West. We did. And she let you go again? Oh, she couldn't help it. We destroyed her. You destroyed? How?
We melted her.
You melted her? Who melted her?
Dorothy did.
You melted her? You must come with me. Wait here.
intrepid group expected to be sent for immediately, of course, but they stayed in their rooms one day, and then 2, and then 4, and still they heard not a word from the terrible and terrifying wizard. Finally, the scarecrow got fed up. It was the last straw.
Please tell us that if he does not send for us immediately, we will call the winged monkeys to find out if he keeps his promises or not.
In the field mice.
Each of the group expected to see the wizard in the shape he had taken before, but all were surprised, for when they entered the throne room, Oz was not there.
I am Oz, the great and terrible. Who are you and why do you seek me?
Where are you?
I am everywhere, but to the eyes of common mortals I am invisible. I will now seat myself upon my throne that you may converse with me.
We've come to reclaim our promise, O Oz.
What promise?
You promised to give me brains.
And you promised to give me heart.
And you promised to give me courage.
And you promised to send me back to Kansas.
Well, is the witch really destroyed?
Yes, I melted her with a bucket of water.
Well, dear me, well, how sudden. Well, I must have some time to think about this. Come back tomorrow, and I shall give you my answer.
You've had plenty of time already.
We shan't wait a day longer.
You must keep your promises to us.
Fed up with the whole situation, the lion decided to frighten the wizard. He frightened Toto instead. The dog leapt away and stumbled into a screen, revealing an odd little woman.
Who are you?
I'm Oz, the great and terrible. Don't frighten me, please don't. I'll do anything you want me to.
But I thought Oz was a great giant head.
And I thought Oz was terrible beast.
And I thought Oz was a ball of fire.
And I thought Oz was a beautiful lady. No, you're all wrong. I've been making believe.
Making believe? Are you not a great wizard?
People are going to hear you, and then I'm going to be ruined. I'm supposed to be a great wizard.
And aren't you?
No, I'm just a common woman. You're more than that. You're a humbug.
That is exactly so.
I'm a humbug.
But this is terrible. How shall I ever get my heart?
How shall I get my brains?
And my courage.
My dear friends, let us not dwell on these little things. Think of me and the trouble I'm in if any of this were to get out.
Doesn't anyone else know you're a humbug?
No one but for you four and myself. I've kept the secret for so many years, I thought no one would find out. It was a great mistake my ever letting you into my throne room. I don't even let my subjects come in, so they still think I'm something terrible.
But how am I to get back to Kansas?
Dorothy was also confused how Oz appeared as a giant head.
How did you appear as a great giant head?
That was one of my tricks. I'll show you in just a second. You see, this I hung from the ceiling with wire, and then I used string to open the eyes and move the mouth.
But how about the voice?
Well, I made them silly first. That means that I can throw my voice wherever I wish it to go. So you thought it was coming from the big head, but really it was coming from the Anyways, I soon grew tired of that, and I decided to become a balloonist.
What's that?
A balloonist is a man or woman who goes up in a balloon on circus day and draws a crowd of people to pay for the circus.
Oh, I know.
Well then, one day, while I was up in my balloon, there was a terrible storm, and my ropes got all twisted up so that I couldn't come down. And then I rose up above the clouds, and I traveled through the air for a day and a night. In the morning, when I woke up, I found myself in a strange and beautiful country, and also among strange and stranger people. Having seen me come from the air as I did, they believed me to be a great wizard, which I let them believe because they were afraid of me and promised to do anything I told them to. Anyways, to keep myself amused and other people busy, I decided to get them to build this castle. And because the countryside is so green and beautiful, I decided to call it the Emerald City. Then to make things fit even more, I got everybody to wear the green spectacles so that everything would look like green. Isn't everything here green? No more than in any other city, but of course when you wear green spectacles, everything you look at looks green to you. Yes, my biggest fear in the whole world are the witches of the East and West. They are tremendously wicked. So then you can imagine how pleased I was when your house fell on the witch of the East and killed her. And then you came to me and I was willing to promise anything and you would just do away with the other one. But now she's dead and you're here and I can't fulfill my promise.
I think you are a very bad woman.
I'm not a bad woman. I'm a very bad wizard.
Can't you give me brains?
You don't need brains. You are learning something new every day. Babies have brains, and they know nothing. Nothing. True wisdom comes from experience, and you're getting more of that every day.
That may all be true, but I shall be very unhappy unless you give me brains.
Well, I'm not much of a wizard, as I just said. But I'll give you brains tomorrow, then.
Thank you. I shall figure out a way to use them, never fear.
And how about my heart?
You don't need a heart. I think you're pretty foolish to be wanting a heart. Everybody who has hearts is caused a lot of pain by them every day.
That must be matter of opinion. For I, for my part, will take all pain in the world without murmur, if only you will give me heart.
Very well. Tomorrow I will give you a heart.
But how about my courage?
Courage. You have plenty of courage, I'm sure. True courage is when you face something you're afraid of, even though you're afraid. You do that all the time.
But I want the sort of courage that makes me forget what is afraid.
Well, come to me tomorrow, and I'll give you that sort of courage.
But now, how am I to get back to Kansas?
Yep. We'll have to think about that. I don't know. Come to me in 3 days, and I will see if I can come up with something out of them. In the meantime, you are all going to be my guests and will be treated as such in this palace. So you can ask for anything you want. The only thing I ask for all of this is for you guys to keep my secret.
Agreed.
There. From now on, you are as wise a man and as anybody else in the land of Oz. Thank you.
How do you feel?
I feel very wise indeed. Oh, but when I get used to my new brain, I shall know everything.
What are those pins and needles sticking out of your head? Well, I must go and get my heart. I have come for my heart.
Yes. I am going to have to cut your chest open to put your heart in the right place. I hope you don't mind that it won't hurt you.
Oh, look, I shall not feel it at all.
Isn't it a beauty?
Oh, yes, indeed, but is it kind heart?
Sure. I hope you don't mind the patch. It can't be helped.
Never mind the badge. I am very grateful to you and shall never forget this kindness.
Don't mention it. Send the lion next.
I have come for my courage.
Yes, let me get it for you. Here you have it.
What is it?
Well, if it were inside you, it would be courage. Everyone knows that true courage is inside oneself. Drink. How do you feel?
Full of courage.
How am I being such a humbug when everybody keeps asking me to do things that everybody knows can't be done? It was easy enough then to help the Tin Man, Lion, and Scarecrow because they just believed I could do anything. So that was easy enough, but it's going to be different with Dorothy because it's going to take more than imagination. I really don't know how I'm going to do that.
Oz thought hard on the problem for 3 days, during which Dorothy waited very impatiently. Finally, Dorothy was called into the wizard's throne room.
Sid, my dear, I think I have come up with a solution to your little problem.
To get me home to Kansas?
To get you across the desert. I don't know about Kansas. I don't know where that is. But we'll get you across the desert first, and I'm sure you'll find your way from there.
Well, how shall we do it?
Well, I've been thinking. I came to the land of Oz through the air in a hot air balloon. You came through the air in a cyclone. So it makes sense that we need to get across the desert through the air.
How can that be done?
In a balloon. See, balloons
I'll obey him as you would me. Come on, Dorothy, the balloon is gonna fly away.
I can't find Toto anywhere.
The balloon doesn't care if you can't find Toto. Hurry up!
She was right. Before Dorothy made it back, the ropes holding the balloon had snapped, and Oz floated off into the sky, leaving Dorothy and her little dog behind.
Come back. I want to go too.
I can't come back, my dear. The balloon has flown away.
For days, Dorothy and her friends grieved over the loss of their friend, the wizard.
Truly, I should be ungrateful if I failed to mourn for woman who gave me my lovely heart. I should like to cry, but little. If you will wipe away tears from my face, Dorothy, so that I shall not rust.
With pleasure.
The lion can do it. Oh, yeah.
We're not so unlucky. I mean, we have this beautiful Emerald City and this huge palace that's ours, and we can do whatever we want. But I think that just a short time ago, I was up on a pole in a cornfield and scaring away the crows, and now I'm the ruler of the Emerald City. Well, I'm actually quite satisfied with my lot.
I too am well pleased with my new heart.